courtside here at the PEC in Baltimore, Maryland, on the campus of Coppin State University. Todd Bradley with the voice of the Coppin State women's basketball program, Dan Mason. I got to tell you, late January and almost 50 degrees, you can't really beat that.
That makes up from last week where we froze ourselves to death. I remember that one.
Indeed. So apparently Mother Nature has hit the pause button on the weather and the temperature as well. Speaking of the temperature, Coppin State expected to be a heated and hot contest today against their crosstown rivals from Morgan State.
I think it's going to be a great game. You got Morgan State, a very solid team at 10-8. They're going to be without Takira Williams today, though. She's out for the game.
That's a wry smile by our guest who will now join us. That's the head coach of the Eagles, Dwayne Burrows. Is that breaking news for you?
No, I talked to you. I found out that she wasn't going to play today, but that's Morgan. It's Morgan Coppin, so you know it's going to be a fantastic game. I don't care who they have out there playing and who's not starting. It's going to be a good game.
With Williams out of Durham, North Carolina, out of their lineup, 12 points nearly a game coming into today, and you take Williams out of that lineup, you replace her with a player that's averaging 4.5 points a game. How does that change the dynamic of their lineup?
It changes it a little bit, but you know, Ed's going to have his team ready to play, and they're going to play hard. It doesn't matter. Those kids, one person's down, the next person just steps up and plays. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, that kid to come off the bench and do well for them.
Speaking of which, the dynamic of your lineup has also changed just a tad today. Does their height play a factor in that with Taylor in for Graham?
Well, we started the kid Dami today because she's been playing very well. The last two games she had double-doubles coming off her nose injury against Maryland. So I'm giving her the opportunity to say, this is your chance. You know, you want to step in and play, this is your opportunity. And she's been doing very well, so I need to reward her.
I garnered the Dami broken nose look just in her honor. I have no idea how that even happened. Speaking of how it happens, this is a heated rivalry as you talked about. On your conference schedule, does this get a little star at the beginning of the season here and the away game?
It always does. You know, they look forward. They play against each other all summer long, and both teams look forward to this game. You know, this game here, and then when we go over to Morgan as well. It's going to be a tough game. We're going to have to scrap and get after it on the offensive end and on the defensive end. And whoever turns the ball over least today will probably get a win. Hopefully that's us.
Coach, in the shoot-around a while ago, we saw BB Farrar, and she has got blazing speed.
Yes.
And you've got probably a one-on-one matchup with Genesis Lucas there?
Yes. You know, she's extremely fast. You know, so I told him just try to contest her. Just try to keep her in front of you. Don't try to reach and all that good stuff because now it's going to be a foul, and we can't afford to have Genesis in foul trouble.
Watching her play makes me think I'm looking at a strobe light. She's so quick.
Yes, extremely fast. You know, we're just going to try to stay in front of her, not do anything special, just try to contain her.
Do the matchups from earlier in the season, including the tip-off at Baylor or Stephen F. Austin, right down that non-conference list, does that get you ready for a player of that caliber and of that speed?
Yeah, definitely, because you know, I mean, not that our conference is a slouch at all, because you got to come to play every night in here. Those kids are just a little bit faster than what we see in conference play. So this is those games definitely helped us with this. It's going to help us with this one.
So we as broadcasters get to look at a lot of different numbers, a lot of different matchups. Okay, so the road trip didn't go your way. However, A&T, you fall 64-63. You look at the common opponent, and Morgan struggled with A&T.
Yeah.
Does that mean anything in the grand scheme of things?
Not really. You know, like I told my kids at A&T and in North Carolina Central, if we make free throws, we win both of those games. You know, so instead of being 2-3, you're probably looking at being 3-2 or 4-1 possibly. We're going to take care of the ball, make free throws, and do all the little things. I think we got to pay more attention to detail. If it's a tough pass, don't make it. Just make the easy pass. Let's get an easy basket.
As we look at that conference record, 3-2 and 2-3 separate 3 slots in the standings currently.
And that's huge. You know, like I tell our kids, we want to shoot for that top 4 so you can have a bye the first round of the conference tournament. So like I said, we need to keep winning and then win at home and on the road for the rest of the season so we can get to one of those top 4 seeds and be off that first day of the tournament.
I think it goes without saying, Coach, that in the MEAC, anybody can beat anybody on any given night.
Anybody can beat anybody on any given night. You figure we were A&T's 4-0, and we had the game 1 with 10 seconds to go. You know, so you pretty much got to complete the game. You got to play 40 minutes, and you can say anybody can beat anybody. So that's the fun part about the MEAC.
And then the home and away dynamic as well. You're going on the road, you're down 7 when you walk in the gym every time, right?
That's true.
Not so much the case cross town, but when you go on the road.
When you go on the road, yeah. We got to, like I said, we got to win all our home games. I said we can win half the games on the road. That's going to get you 12 conference wins and get you in a good spot in the tournament.
So with the home court advantage today, how do you look to knock off the crosstown rivals from Morgan State?
Take care of basketball, make free throws, and just make shots. You know, I think it was at North Carolina Central, we shot 9 for 64. You're not going to win basketball. 14 for 64. You're not going to win basketball games if you're only making 14 shots out of 64 attempts. You know, we just got to make shots. We play pretty well at home, so I'm looking forward to them stepping up and doing well today.
Certainly appreciate the time. As always, look forward to the halftime conversation as well.
All right, thank you. See you guys later.
There it is. That is the courtside conversation with head coach Dwayne Burrows. And Mr. Mason will send it out for a brief timeout. When we come back, we'll get his keys to victory here today. Having just heard from Coach Burrows, we'll bring you starting lineups to get you set for the tip between Morgan State and Coppin State on the Coppin State Sports Network. That courtside here to the PEC, well, Dan Mason, you hear that promo about the MEAC tournament, and that's why you play the regular season games. As Coach Burrows mentioned, to get one of those top 4 seeds. And as I mentioned a moment ago, one loss separates these two teams in the standings.
Well, we've talked about this over and over, and you can dissect the MEAC schedule into 3 parts. There's the beginning, where you play a lot of road, tough games. There's the MEAC itself in day-to-day competition, and then you get to the MEAC tournament. So we're right in the center of it right now, and this is going to be a very tough match and a good test for the Eagles this afternoon.
Well, for Coppin State, they're hitting a home stretch. Next 3 games at home, even though it'll be a week apart between today against Morgan State and a week against South Carolina State before the wraparound on Monday against Maryland Eastern Shore. This is a stretch where they've got to get 3 wins in 3 tries.
I think there are a couple of keys to the game today, Todd. First, they build this game as East versus West here in Baltimore. So East Baltimore versus West Baltimore, so to speak. The keys to the game, as I see it, foremost, Dami's back. She had a great double-double last game, 11 points, 10 rebounds, and what a triple threat that would be with Dami, Lucas, and Graham all teaming up. For one. Second key as I see it, I expect a sticky defense today from Morgan State. Anytime they keep their opponents at 60 points or under, they're 8-0 this season. So you can bet that they're going to be sticking very close to the Eagles. And there's an old saying, Todd, that says, patience comes to those who wait. So it'll be important that we take the right shots to take care of the ball.
Now here at the PEC, as we've chronicled as the year has gone along, with the particular lineup that's out there, when Taylor's in that starting lineup as the projected 5, they were undefeated, I believe, and still hold true if they hold an opponent under 60. So both teams literally want to grind it out and get it under 60.
And that might be why we see Taylor in the lineup today against Spears, her counterpart for the Bears. One other matchup I do want to bring up, BB Farrar on Morgan State is a tremendous, fiery player. She's the leading scorer on the team, and she is quick. And like Coach acknowledged, it'll be a one-on-one matchup with Genesis Lucas today. So let's see who wins that one.
Yeah, he let that out that it's one-on-one. I have a sneaking suspicion we may see some zone to try to stymie her speed.
Or we might see a two-on-one at one point.
Yeah, where Smith comes over, or when Crooms is in the game, they do the double team and see if they can throw over the top. With those keys, and then this wild card that comes in with Williams out of the lineup, you take size out, you take athleticism out, you take out their third leading scorer, and a key cog in that engine. How big is that?
Well, it's big, but at the end of the day, when we wrap up at this game, I still say we're going to be talking about BB Farrar versus Genesis Lucas, because I really think those are the two hot points of the game.
You mentioned Genesis, and as the book of Genesis goes, 8th all-time in points, closing in on 7th. She's got nearly 1,200 points in her career. Today's accomplishments may well be a steals up the ladder to 6 and a free throws made to tie 8th, or maybe even move into 8th place all time with free throws made. That means for Genesis Lucas, and we've said it all season long, she's kind of that oil that makes this motor go, isn't she?
At 38.8 minutes per game, we know that she has the horsepower, that she's going to stay in this game and try to keep the Eagles in it all the way.
So the countdown to tip-off show nearly complete in the Battle of Baltimore, East versus West. It's Morgan State, it's Coppin State. It's a great one. The two matchups a year ago were outstanding. Tip-off is on the other side of this timeout on the Coppin State Sports Network. That courtside of the PEC here on the campus of Coppin State University. Todd Bartley joined by Dan Mason, getting set to tip off the battle for Baltimore. East versus West. It's Coppin State and it's Morgan State. And the big breaking news, Williams is out of the Bears lineup today. A third-team preseason all-MEAC performer.
Well, she certainly is one of the backbones of the team. Coppin State, Morgan State is a very balanced team in scoring. So that's not going to help. That's not going to help their case today.
So starting lineup first for the visitors from Morgan State. 10-8 on the year, 3-2 in the MEAC. It's going to be Bibi Farrar running the show, 5'6" senior, making her 19th consecutive start on the year. She'll be flanked by Naomi Bolasing, a 5'8" junior out of Long Island, New York. Of course, Farrar hails from St. Louis. Bolasing's going to make her 8th start of the year. It's going to be Adriana Coleman, a 5'10" junior out of Baltimore, Maryland, making the start as well for Morgan State. And then it's going to be Anisha Williams, 6' junior out of Powder Springs, Georgia, at the 4. And then Lexus Spears, 6'2" senior out of Jacksonville, Florida, shooting 53% from the floor. That means a lot of zero-footers.
A lot of zero-footers is right. It's going to be a great game. I've been really looking forward to this. The PA system is now introducing the Coppin State team.
Yeah, coming into the season, Morgan State preseason ranked number 8. Coppin State right behind them at number 9. So currently in the standings, after 5 games in conference, Morgan State sits at 6th in the standings, and Coppin is at 8th. And again, just one loss separates the two teams.
Quickly, Todd, on some free throw comparisons and three-point comparisons. I've taken everything out of the regular season now and started a new chart just for MEAC play. So on field goal percentages, this Morgan State team was really, really good at 42% versus 33% for the Eagles. Three-pointers, 38% versus 25% for the Eagles. Free throw line, 69% versus 64% for the Eagles. So rebound, the Bears are +5, assist +5, and Coppin State -4 in rebounds and -1 assist. So, you know, turnovers are about even, 20 for Coppin State, 19 for Morgan State. But, you know, it's going to be a tough game, and the stats certainly favor the Bears at this point.
Genesis Lucas, 5'7", redshirt senior guard out of Brandywine, Maryland, is the lead guard, flanked by Mariah Smith, a 5'5" freshman out of Owings Mills, Maryland. Of course, right here in the backyard of Baltimore, she's the 2. The 3 is going to be Chance Graham, a 5'11" sophomore out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. The 4 is 6' senior out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, Candace Beverly. And then Dami Olajede back in the lineup, a 5'11" sophomore out of Beltsville, Maryland. She'll be the 5.
Chance is the leading rebounder on this team, so it was good news to see her in the lineup this afternoon.
And there was a penciled lineup of Alexis Taylor at 6'4", the junior out of Washington, D.C., in today's starting lineup, and then back to Graham they go. So it's a great issue, if you will, if there is even an issue to deal with, of having Graham or Taylor in that starting lineup, and apparently Coach Burrows goes to Graham, knowing that Taylor's going to give him great effort today coming off the bench.
It's interesting that the pencil change was made there at the last minute. What's your take on that?
I believe you hit the nail right on the head. Graham being the leading rebounder and knowing that Williams is out, I think Coach Burrows is trying to keep the Bears down early and then can go to the security blanket and Alexis Taylor as the game progresses.
I think we're about ready for tip-off here. Officials out on the court, both teams in the huddle.
So, with both teams having made their way through the starting lineup processional, we're almost ready for the tip-off. To bring it to you, here's the voice of the Coppin State Eagles, Dan Mason.
Thank you very much, Todd Bartley. Beautiful Saturday afternoon in Baltimore, and what a nice day today to make up for all that cold weather we had. Coppin State dressed out in white uniforms with the old gold or metallic gold, whatever you want to call it, numerals, and about the deepest navy color you could ever see in trim. Morgan State on the other way, the Bears in their blue uniforms with orange numerals and the name Morgan numeral State on the front. Chance Graham will jump, center. She'll jump against Adriana Coleman. And here we go. Bears control. Farrar quickly has it on the left wing. Looking back center, but yelling left again, but gets it to the right to Coleman. Coleman patiently in trouble there, overguarded almost. And it's taken away by Lucas, and she's driving. She's got 2 defenders against her. She puts it in. We're off to the races here, Todd.
Yeah, Dan, that was a great look by Lucas to step in that passing lane and take it the length of the floor.
Full court press now by the Eagles. They break it easily, though. And there's a foul. This will be, a traveling violation. I thought we were going to get foul on a Chance Graham on that one. But the ball goes back to the Eagles, and they lead 2-0, 9:28. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
2 Bears possessions, Dan, 2 turnovers.
Lucas, traditionally in her place, putting it over the timeline into the left wing now. Back to the center. Smith has it. Passed out to Beverly. And a foul. No, another traveling.
Yeah, she went for a ball screen handoff, going to her left, and picked it up and then dragged the pivot foot, turning it over.
Well, you see the hooks coming really quickly, and you can't tell sometimes if they're traveling or there's going to be a personal foul. Nevertheless, the Bears have it. And Farrar gets it in and bullets it. Now we're going to have a foul. This one's going to go against Candace Beverly.
2 words off the bench. Don't reach.
Morgan State with the possession. Inbound to Farrar. BB Farrar, a 5'6" guard. She's a senior from St. Louis. Over to Bolsing. Inside. Coleman has it. Almost loses it. Fires up a 10-footer that rolls out. Underneath, it's tapped around. So who's going to grab possession of this one? Coppin State has it. And Mariah Smith up the court, taken away. Going the other way, Bolsing driving. Puts it up good. She came from the left-hand side and put it right in. Top score 2 each.
Yeah, she did the Genesis Lucas.
Lucas now over the timeline, almost throws it away. Chance goes and tries to grab it, but nope. Bears pick it up. Turnover. It's not what we want to see, Todd.
An unforced error, and as Coach Burrows mentioned, that first key is take care of the basketball, and here's the 2-3 zone as we talked about in the open.
BB Farrar throws it left, Bolsing a 3-pointer in the corner, no good. Ball's put up and in this time by Spears. And she'll get the and 1. Fouls on Dami, that's her first. Spears at the line, a 61% free throw shooter. And she'll try to make a 3-point play. Ball's in the air. She's got it. 5-2 now. Bears up in the early going. The Bears put on a press of their own. Lucas breaks it. Now she dribbles left wing. Way out in the front court. Looking inside to the right. Gets it to Beverly. Beverly to Graham. Graham goes to the baseline. Puts it up and in. And she was a hair on fire there.
They're calling an offensive foul on Graham.
Oh, my goodness. They sure did. That was a beautiful drive. They said the defender was in place. And she picks up the offensive foul.
I'd love if Bob could re-rack that for us to get that replay because I thought she got there late.
Bolsing out front. Inside the Spears. Coming out now, Farrar gets it off the top of the key. Bolsing's going to shoot. No good. Underneath Spears. Underneath there. And there's a scramble for it on the floor. 2 Bears and 1 Coppin defender, and Coppin's got it. Here's Beverly now. She gets it over the front court timeline. Looks to the left. Almost tied up there. Still looking for a pass to gets it off to Graham. Now Graham's going to try it again. Cross court patch to Dami. To Lucas. On the right, Smith's going to shoot a 3. Bangs it. Beautiful shot by Mariah. Ties the game up at 5. She hit it from the left-hand side. Beautiful.
That whole possession was 1 extra pass until Smith knocked down the 3.
Farrar gets it to Bolsing again. She looks inside. Now she has it in the left-hand corner. A right-hand corner, make that. Out front to Williams. Williams drives the paint underneath. And we're going to whistle. This one's going to be on Mariah Smith. That's her first. Substitution already for the Bears. Miller in the game. And Williams sets down. BB Farrar will throw it in from underneath her own basket. Comes to the right-hand side. No-look pass is taken away now. Error on the other side. Now Genesis way out front. Puts it up off the glass. Missed the layup. Tommy's got it. Put it back up. It is partially blocked, and the Bears are running the other way. Farrar quickly to the right, shifting to the left. Gets on the left wing. She's one-on-one against Smith. They baseball pass it over to Bolsing. No good. Farrar has it. She picks it up. She'll try to drive the paint. Puts it up and out. No good. Third chance on the way. This one was good by Spears. 3 chances that time at the ball, Todd, and they got it that time. 7-5. Coppin State down in the early going. Baseball pass across the court. Here's Graham for 3. No good. Ball's batted out of bounds. And the Bears will take over. Fast pace so far.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that on the offensive end, they're leaving BB alone without the basketball. Once she gives it up, she ran to this left corner, got that last offensive rebound, which, as you mentioned, led to 3 trips to the basket.
Here's Bolsing now. She gets it to Spears underneath. Up off the glass and bounce out. Goes off. It looked like to me that ball went off Miller, but to give it back to the Bears. Another substitution. Fauntroy, Janessa Fauntroy in the game for the Bears. And Spears will sit down. Now Farrar to the right side of the goal, underneath the baseline. Gets it to the right now. Miller standing out front. Working the right to the center. Now Farrar has it. She's going to fire off a 3. Can't get it. Scramble underneath, and Coppin State picks it up. Going the other way. 7-5, 5:31 now. Smith out front to Dami. Puts one dribble on the floor. Tries to look inside to get something. Nothing there. Graham will shoot. A long way out. No good. Probably not the best shot in the world on that, Todd. Ball rolls out of bounds. It'll be the Bears.
Well, that Bowles-thing, as you can see on the video replay, she got popped twice in the chops going for that rebound. And I'm telling you right now, she's checking for teeth. The way she reacted, it was like somebody knocked a tooth loose.
It's not an easy game. Very physical. Now Horn in the game. Kayla Horn's in the game for the Bears. And she gets it to Farrar. Double teamed on the right by Smith. And Dami breaks that quickly. Tries to go inside. Ball's loose. Bounces out of bounds, and it goes to Coppin State. This one goes to Coppin State. And right there's some words there between a couple of Morgan State players. Holman and Horn at it, but trying to straighten out why that ball went outside. So we'll see. I wish we had a replay of that one there, Todd. 7-5 in the early going. Morgan State and Coppin State, 4:59 left, and you're listening to the Coppin State Sports Network.
That court's out at the PEC here at Coppin State University. Visit CoppinStateSports.com to get the latest information on Coppin athletic events, one of which is going on right now. A 7-5 Morgan State lead on Coppin. Here's Dan Mason.
6 of those 7 points have been in the paint, so that's a stat. We've only got 2 points in the paint so far this afternoon. 4:53 left. We're down by 2. Mariah Smith at the top of the key. Throws a bad pass, and Dami picks it up. Swings right to Lucas. A long 3 ball. No good. Underneath, it bounces out of bounds. This one will go to the Bears.
Yeah, Candace Beverly had a great chance at a rebound there, just couldn't corral that loose ball.
Genesis was wide open on that one, too. Too bad that didn't fall. 4:41 now left in the first quarter. 7-5, Morgan State. And we got a delay here. The official gives the ball to Farrar, and she gets it in to Horn. Horn looking up court, trying to find someone. Taken away by Beverly, and another scramble on the floor. And I mean, this is a scramble. We're going to get a possession arrow going to Coppin State. A little physical in there, Todd.
Yeah, with Horn checking in, trying to keep that rebounding margin. +3 at 7-4 Morgan State.
Genesis over the timeline in the front court. Gets it to Graham. Now Graham wants to drive. She's going to put one up. Bounces over the other side of the rim. And Domi goes up for the second shot, and she's hammered in there. She's going to the free throw line.
Yeah, it's on Coleman. That's her first.
4:24 left. And there are going to be a whole bunch of substitutions in now for Morgan State.
Well, it's good to see Bolsing's coming back in this game because there was some concern, as I mentioned earlier, with that significant contact to her face.
You've got Bolsing, you've got Spears, and you've got Anisha Williams back in the game. And Coach Ed Davis Jr. is not afraid to rotate that lineup. Domi for the second shot, no good. Underneath, Graham has it, kicks it back out, and we'll start it all over again. Lucas sets up the offense at the top of the key. She looks to the right wing. Like to get that ball over to Beverly. Bounces around, and it's taken away, but goes out of bounds. And it'll go back to Coppin State.
Now, Dan, here's an interesting matchup defensively because they've got Beverly being defended by Farrar.
That is an interesting matchup. Long ball by Lucas, good. Hits it. That puts the Eagles on top 8-7. 4 minutes even left. That ball looked good. Coming the other way, up off the glass. Anisha Williams scores. She was driving the left-hand side of the paint, and she drives into the lay of it. Now quickly, Coppin State gets back on offense really quick. Deep in the corner to Graham. Graham fires a 20-footer, good. Chance looking good there. Puts Coppin State back on top 10-9. 3:36 left. Here's Horn running quickly against Beverly. Passes off balls, taken away by Chance. Here's Lucas now, one-on-one, and there'll be a push. That was a tough one. And let's see who this is on. Blue 5, they say. That's BB Farrar.
That is a tough pass by Lucas, and Graham did a great job to catch it in stride.
I got to tell you, Todd, so far the Eagles are playing well. Very well. Graham with the first shot, good. Another substitution. Jahia Chavis goes in, and Horn sets down. Chance Graham, 68% free throw shooter, going to throw up another one and goes in. 12-9, that's the longest Coppin lead of the game at 3. Now one-on-one, Chavis against Smith. Underneath, coming the other way, up off the glass. Was missed by Bolsing, but on the left-hand side, Williams was right there to put it in. Williams is a junior forward. Comes up the floor. Here we go the other way. Domi looks up to fire up a 10-footer right through the net. That's what we need, Todd. More Domi scoring.
Yeah, and you can notice on our video replay, she's wearing that mask, trying to protect that broken nose. Did a great job there.
BB Farrar trying to bring players out, trying to direct traffic. Gets it out to Williams, underneath the spear. She's going to roll around, no good. She did a spin move there, but couldn't get it through. And Lucas goes the other way. Pass underneath. Was that quick? Ball was slapped away, out of bounds. And Coppin State picks it back up. Here's Lucas, trying to follow on a 5-footer, no good. She was in the middle of the paint, though. That's good. Bears coming the other way with Farrar. 2:23 left. Coppin State with the 3-point lead at 14-11. BB Farrar on the left wing to Jahia Chavis. Now Bolson goes. A long ball right as the shot clock runs out, but Farrar picks it back up. Inside, Bolsing drives the lane, in and out, no good. Slapped out of bounds, and this one will go back to Coppin State. More substitutions now as Coleman comes in the game, and Williams sets down.
I really like the pace of play right now, as you mentioned, Dan, favoring the Eagles because this is not territory they're unfamiliar with picking up the pace.
That's what they do. Genesis is quickly double-teamed as she crosses the timeline. The ball's taken away, and Farrar's got the numbers the other way. Up off the glass, puts it up and in. No catching her that time. 14-13, Coppin State, a minute 42 left. Smith with the ball, passes over to Lucas. She crosses the timeline in the right court, right front court. Be patient, he slows it down, 16 on the shot clock. Trying to get inside. Mariah Smith has it, pulls up with the 20-footer, got it. Way to go, Mariah. 16-13, Coppin State by 3. A minute 17 left.
They call that overload, Dan. You flood the right side with 4 of the 5 players, and then that ball reversal to Smith did a great job stepping into that jumper.
She was wide open too, Todd. There's Bolsing. She gets it inside. Coleman has it underneath and puts it in. Coleman put it in from the left-hand side of the paint, about 3 feet away. 55 seconds left. Coppin by 1. Quickly, Alexis Taylor is off the bench and tried to get in. There's Lucas. Pass to Smith. She crosses the front. Now Beverly has it. And we'll get a foul. This will be on Bolsing. She's a very aggressive player. This is only her first foul, though, but she could easily have 3, I think, by now.
Well, that, and she's not shy. Not afraid to get in there, mix it up, go for that offensive or defensive rebound.
Lucas to Beverly, back to Lucas. She's at the top of the key. Passes up a screen given by Taylor, who's in the game now.
Get a hand off!
Kick back out, long 3 ball in the corner by Smith is no good. Now we're running the other way again. The Bears are on the run. Now let's slow the ball down with 26 seconds left. Chavis has it in the front to the right to Bolsing. Little figure 8 out front between Bolsing and Farrar. Passes inside, another turnover. And Graham has the number. She's way out in front. Off the glass and missed it. Doggone it, that would have been looking good. 3 seconds, 2, 1. Oh, at the buzzer, Spears puts it in. Right at the buzzer. And that gives Morgan State a lead of 17-16. We'll be right back, and you're listening to the Coppin State Sports Network.
Back courtside of the PEC here at Coppin State University. Tom Barty, Dan Mason with you. At the end of the first quarter, 17-16, Morgan State leading Coppin State, and the Bears closed that first quarter on a 6-2 run after Coppin had a 14-11 lead.
Bears shooting 42%, which matches their season in the MEAC at 42%. Coppin State 37-5. Inbound pass was stolen by Lucas, and she's going for the ball in a quick. Bolsing did a nice defensive play to slap it out of bounds right underneath the basket. One more split second, and Genesis would have had a bucket there. Eagles will inbound the ball. Lucas will take it. As soon as the official passes it over. Now we're going. Graham out front to Beverly. Beverly on the right wing. Goes left now with Smith. And Genesis has it at the top of the key. About 6 feet away from the perimeter. She's way out there. High bounces. Now she'd like to drive, but gets it out to Beverly. Beverly inside, tried to go to Graham, but it was slapped away that time by Coleman. And the Eagles will take it. Lucas standing to the left, underneath of the basket. To Graham, to Beverly, to Graham. Here's Lucas with a 3, off the mark. Farrar has it. And BB Farrar comes up the floor, trying to call a play. Looking back to her bench. Gets her instructions with a 1-point lead. She looks left. Tries to go to the center. Right to go to the center with Fortnoy. Tries to get it in, but goes to Bolsing on the left-hand corner. No good. And we'll get a foul underneath. That time, Coleman was charged with a foul. She hit Chance pretty hard there. It's her second. A 5'10 junior. 17-16, 9 minutes left in the first half. And Lucas now to Smith on the left wing. Out front to Chance. To the right to Lucas. They're all outside of the perimeter. Horn is one-on-one against Lucas. She fakes left, gets the 2 defenders on her, and she could be in trouble here. And it's a jump ball. I think this time the possession goes back. Goes to Coppin? Okay.
Because Morgan State had that first possession here in quarter number 2.
Anisha Williams checks in the game. Lucas underneath. Way out front. The ball's taken away. Bad pass. Horn has it. Horn has it for the Bears. Looks right, and I believe we'll get call a double dribble.
Another that or a carry.
Horn was not happy about that. She's still complaining, but nobody's listening.
Spears is back.
8:37 left. Spears back in the game, as Todd said. And Lucas over the timeline. She floats to the left, to Beverly to the left. And we're going to go with Graham. Graham's out front on the right. Beverly cross-court pass to Beverly. Looking inside, kicked out. Smith wanted to take that shot. Tries for a little bit better position. Almost threw it away. Way back out front. Only 6 seconds on the shot clock. She's got to shoot. Down to 2. Fires up, is partially blocked as the time clock expired. And Ferraris quickly the other way to Horn. Horn now underneath. I got blocked on that one, Todd. Did you pick that up?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I think Taylor got a piece of it, but I'll be very blunt with you, Dan. That was very close to a player control foul on the initial drive because she left her feet.
Chavis back in, and the substitutions continue for the Bears. Way out front to Bolsing. The Chavis, BB Farrar in the corner. Now we're going to go to the right-hand side. Back out front to Chavis. Standing center, gets a screen, pulls up with a 15-footer. No good. Underneath, Beverly had it, but lost it out of bounds. And it'll go back to Morgan State. 7:43, 17-16 left. I'd rather make that score 17-16. Ball inbound to Williams. Williams way out front to Chavis. Chavis gets it over to Bolsing. She has a wide open shot there. She didn't take it. Now Chavis is a traveling violation. She did not get into heavy traffic that time, Todd, and made that turnover.
That's all part of that zone trap that Coach Burrows is running.
Here comes Lucas, 7:26 left. Down by 1. Smith on the top of the key. Drives right wing. Here's Chance off the glass. Good. Chance took off from the right-hand corner straight to the basket, puts it up off the glass, and puts Coppin State on top 18-17. Good going, Chance.
Last time she did that, Dan, they called her for an offensive foul, so that time she made sure. No contact.
Looks like the same play to me, Todd. Here's Farrar. She gets a 20-footer away. No good. She's had a difficult time for the field so far. Bears pick it back up, and Bolsing has it. Farrar gets another chance at it for a third time, and this shot's blocked. It's still bouncing around, and let's see what we get here.
Yeah, Taylor got the rebound and got clocked.
And you can see the right-hand side of her face. Fouls on Bolsing, by the way. That's her second. She may be one of the most physical players on the court, I believe.
I would agree.
Naomi Bolsing, a transfer from Northwest Florida State College. 6:37 and Coppin on top by 1. Lucas, the Graham at the top of the key, takes 2 steps and travels.
That's okay.
Traveling violation, and Coach Burrows off the bench quickly saying, that's okay, that's okay. Trying to encourage his team on. And we have an injury down there on the sideline. I think that's BB Farrar.
Yeah, last time down the floor, Dan, she was using the towel, and she may have been opened up on the nose.
Holding a towel to her face right now. The officials questioning the coach. What are we doing here, Coach?
And a timeout.
You'll go ahead and take a timeout, and we will too. Timeout on the court, and it's Morgan State 17, Coppin State 18. You're listening to the Coppin State Sports Network. You can visit CoppinStateSports.com to get the latest information on all Coppin's athletic events. And don't forget to also visit CoppinGear.com to get your CSU apparel. It is where the home team shops, Todd.
Big number. Farrar's got 7 rebounds in this game, and that rebound margin is now +9 Morgan State. Coppin's got to clean that up.
She only has 2 points. BB's been held at 2 points so far, way below her 15-point average. Going the other way. Chavis has it now. Chavis out front. She looks to her left to the Farrar. Out front to Miller. To the right to Bolsing. Back to the center to Miller. She takes steps, spins around, fires up one and got it. About a 12-footer that time. I didn't believe that you could allow a player to play with gauze coming out of her nostril there. That's what Farrar has. I guess it's okay as long as there's no blood. But BB's still in the game. One-on-one against Lucas. The ball is taken away that time from Mariah and put in. Skip that. Folsom. She's there again. 21-18. Morgan State by 3. 5:36 left. Lucas slowly over the timeline. She gets it to Chance at the top of the key. To the Beverly on the right. Beverly wants to go through the paint, almost lost the ball, and finally does lose the ball. Folsom picks it up, and she's one-on-one right now against Lucas. Picks up, rolls it in, and she's going to get the and one. Genesis is going to pick up the foul. That was a big basket for Morgan State, Todd. 23-18.
Yeah, Bolsing was looking for that contact, and since Coppin led 16-15, one of these little mini runs in a game.
Bolsing now will try to complete the three-point play. She's only a 25% free throw shooter.
Well, 8-2 run in the game.
Puts it up. Well, make that 26%. 23-18, Morgan State on top. And Genesis Lucas with the ball. To the left, Smith pulls up with a 15-footer air ball. The Bears quickly the other way with Miller. Miller to Chavis. Chavis drives right. Nothing. Ball bounces around, and we're going to get another whistle. Let's see, a traveling violation again. How many traveling violations has been called today, Todd?
That's at least a half a dozen, Dan. I got to be honest with you. Seeing the sea of blue crashing that glass, and only Mariah Smith there for Coppin State, that's got to concern Coach Burrows.
Mia Crooms is now in the game, and Mariah sits down. 4:57, Coppin down by 6. Lucas to the left wing, looking inside. She'd like to get that ball to Chance Graham. Looks a little further, still dribbling. Now she swings through the paint, and there's a whistle. This one will be against BB Farrar. Horn replaces Bolsing now in the game for the Bears. 2 shots. Nope, make that.
It's her second foul.
Second foul. Beverly out front to the left. Now we're going to restart the offense. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Crooms has it on the right-hand side. They go left. Here's a shot by Genesis in the air. No good. Graham quickly with the rebound. Crooms picks it up, and we'll start all over again. 4:19 left. in the center of the paint. Traveling violation again by Graham.
Full double.
Wow. Another traveling violation, another turnover for the Eagles.
Well, that was quick, and she's trying that first step to get there sooner and forgetting to put the basketball on the floor.
Full court press now. They wanted, Coach Bull said, freeze it. They wanted to close it at the timeline. Didn't work out that way, though. And Farrar has it. She's going to fire away a three. Nothing there. Horn with the rebound. Up off the glass, no good. This time, Crooms picks it up. And the Eagles will run their offense. 3:51. Down by 6, 24-18. Genesis looks inside. Passes to Beverly on the left wing. She drives center paint. Dami has it. And she's... looks like another traveling violation. That was, I'll admit that one was. That was a good call by the official. Bolsing's back in the game, and Horn will sit down for the Bears. 3:38 in the first half. Morgan State 24, Coppin State 18. BB Farrar brings it over the timeline to Miller. Back to Farrar on the right wing. She fakes left, finally does go left to Chavis. Chavis bounces inside to Miller. Miller with Chance Graham on her. No good. Lucas has the rebound. 3:16. And Genesis starts the offense. Slowly looking to the left and right. Gets it to Dami at the top of the key. Crooms has it now. Almost lost that. Genesis will fire a three. Good. Right through the net there, Todd. No question about that one. That pulls Coppin State within 3, 24-21.
Well, that ends about a 4-minute scoring drought for the Eagles.
Good to see that one. Bolsing has it on the left wing, deep in the left corner to Farrar. She's going to try to drive the paint, puts an off-balance shot up, really out of control that time, and missed that shot. And we'll have a foul. This one's going to be on Beverly. Candace Beverly is her second. More substitutions now. We've got Alexis Taylor replaces Beverly. Spears is out. Horn is in. Williams is in. And Farrar is out for the Bears. Deep pass, Bolden. Inside the ball is slapped away. Turnover. And Genesis Lucas going the other way. Slows it down now. She's outnumbered and the Bears are back in their defense. 2:26 left. Deep out front, Lucas. Chance is going to shoot a three. No good. Dami underneath her. Ball slapped away, and Coach Burrows is not happy. He wanted contact. There was contact there. He did not get the foul. 2:10. And Chavis runs the offense. She's looking left for Bolson. Chavis gives it in the right to Horn. Horn's got speed. She gets it back up to Chavis. Now they're going to go inside to Williams with that spin move. She missed that shot. And there's another battle royal underneath again. Looks like this ball's going to Coppin State.
And Crooms got knocked to the floor.
Okay, this one's going to go against Anisha Williams. And Coppin State will have the ball with 1:50 left. Need a basket here, Todd. Genesis looking for Taylor, but couldn't get there. Dami has it in the center of the paint now. Gets it taken away. Horn is way out front going the other way. Puts it up, off the glass, it's good. Well, it'll be a timeout. Morgan State 26, Coppin State 21. You're listening to the Coppin State Sports Network. Well, this quarter it's 9-5 if you were just scoring it by quarter, which puts Morgan State on top 26-21. Coppin State with the ball at 1:27 left. Here's Lucas now. Gets it on the right to Graham. Back out front to Crooms. Crooms Tries to get around Horn, but she's turned away. Chance Graham now going to the paint. She puts it off the glass, no good. But she picks up the foul. No question about that foul, Todd. That'll be against Williams. When Anisha Williams fouls you, you know you've been fouled. That's her second foul. Sends Graham to the line for 2. First shot's good. That's that lead to 4. Spears now back in the game for the Bears as Williams goes to the bench. Interesting, they're without BB Farrar right now, the Bears.
Again, as you mentioned, with that gauze packed into that nostril, it's going to be interesting to see in the second half how she copes with that.
Graham, second shot, no good. Bears have the rebound.
Circle.
Bolsing gets it off to Chavis, and Chavis will bring it up over the timeline. Bears look back to the bench for direction from Ed Davis, but Horn has it now on the right wing. Deep in the right corner to Bolsing. Inside, Spears spins, good. Right in the paint, 5 feet away. Drops one in. 28-22. Morgan State, 48 seconds now. Crooms has it in the front. Chance at the top of the key. Back to Crooms. Ball slapped around, and it goes back to Coppin State. That was close. That was really close. 16 seconds on the shot clock. More substitutions. Mariah Smith in. Alexis Taylor comes out.
Yeah, I think he's trying to give up potentially a rebound for a three-point try here late in the first half.
Only 40 seconds left. Crooms takes it in, gets the ball to Lucas. And there we go. There's a foul on Horn. Yep, Horn got her that time.
Yeah, it's that forearm shiver that they've been talking about all game long.
That puts Genesis at the line, 82% free throw shooter, the best on the team. And she can cut the lead here. First shot on the way, it's good. Only 37.4 seconds left. Genesis can hit this, she can cut it to 4.
You got one behind you, man.
Shots on the way. No good. Can't get there on that. Miller has the rebound and gives it to Horn, and Horn sets up the offense now to Chavis on the left wing. Chavis slowly out front. 23 seconds left in the first half. 15 on the shot clock. Chavis pushes back the offense a bit. Gets a nice screen. Wants to drive the paint. Here she goes. Up and no good. Graham with the rebound. Out front. What a fake that was by Lucas on Horn that time. Ball's bounced around, and here come the Bears with only 4 seconds left going the other way. Horn's got to hurry. Off the glass. Here we go. It goes out. Thank goodness. Whew. That was close time. That brings us to the end of the first half. Your score, Morgan State 28, Coppin State 23, and this is the Coppin State Sports Network.
That court shot of the PEC here at Coppin State University, and you can hear the Eagle pep band high atop the PEC. At the break, 28-23, Morgan State has the lead on Coppin State as the Eagles were held to a 7-point second quarter. And Dan, as we've done these games all season long, you get to a lull in the scoring, and it was for nearly 4 minutes in the second quarter for Coppin State.
It was a dry run there for sure. One thing, looking at the stats right now, Todd, we talked about the matchup between Lucas and Farrar, and Genesis is winning that battle. Genesis has 9 points in the first half, and a heck of a defense was played against BB Farrar. She only had 2. However, the tough one for us today has been Spears. She's been very difficult to handle under the basket. Lexus Spears has 9 points, and she's a total player too, and a big force for the Bears underneath the basket.
Well, they show BB with 20 minutes of game action. I would argue that that's skewed a little bit. I'd say it's closer to 18 as opposed to 20 because of the injury to her nose.
That definitely was right. She was on the bench for a good 2 minutes. That must be just a typo error, but you're absolutely right.
All right. Individual numbers in this opening half. Coppin off their bench. Taylor and Crimsaw time didn't tally. It's been all on the starters. Beverly's held scoreless with 2 fouls. Dami with 2. Smith with 5. Graham with 7. Lucas with a tie for the game high of 9. For Morgan State off their bench, Chavis saw time didn't tally. It's Miller and Horn, each with 2. For the starters, Williams with 4, Coleman with 2. BB, as you mentioned, held to 2. Bolasing with 7. She's been the X factor in this game, and then Spears, as expected, 9 points, mostly from 0 to 2 feet.
A lot of turnovers in the game too, Todd. Coppin State with 14. And Morgan State with 11, and I'm sure in the locker room, and we'll talk to him hopefully here in a few minutes, but Coppin State coach is really going to have a talk to his team about taking care of the ball.
Not only that, the rebound margins, plus 10 Morgan State, that can't happen, and BB, as you mentioned, the 2 points, she's got 7 rebounds.
I think she gets those rebounds because she seems to be in the right place at the right time. It's not like she's battling the bigs underneath. She gets a lot of loose balls and takes them the other way and sets her offense up. But she does have 7 rebounds today.
Quick 90-second time. I'll come back with Coach Dwayne Burrows after this on the Coppin State Sports Network. That court shot here at the PEC, Coppin State University in Baltimore, Maryland. Todd Barley, Dan Mason with you, and right on cue, Coppin State reemerges from their locker room. So that conversation you mentioned with Coach Burrows and his Eagles was nearly the entirety of halftime.
No doubt. And you know, Todd, if you had to pick a couple of keys to the second half, what would you pick?
They got to get to the glass, first and foremost, and get second chance opportunities because they're just not making them happen.
Second chance opportunities, they only have 3 so far, while Morgan State has 7. But I think my main key for the second half would be cut down on the number of turnovers. It's no different than what Coach Burrow said at the top of the game. Take care of the ball, handle the ball.
And I think a lot of those turnovers happened in the transition of taking it from Morgan State, trying to get the transition game going, and then immediately turning it back over.
That's right. That's right. And now we look to see Coach Burrows comes out from the locker room with his coaching staff, and hopefully we'll have him over here at courtside with us in just a few more minutes.
Yeah, and the 2 quick ones I have for him, like you just mentioned, biggest keys to the second half. Does he agree or disagree? I have a feeling we're going to get an agreement with him on 2 quick questions. So, Coach Dan and I were just talking, and let's see if you concur. Cut down turnovers, get to the glass.
What's been in the locker room? What's been in the locker room? That's exactly what I said.
There we go.
Yeah, so get to the glass and eliminate turnovers.
So you must have been in the locker room because that's exactly what I told them. Take care of the basketball, rebound, and get out rebound and we turn the ball over. And every time they got 16 points off our 14 turnovers. So I mean, it's great on their part, but not good for us.
And then the discrepancy in attempts, 37 to 23.
Yeah, we're just not getting out. We're turning the ball over. So I mean, there's not gonna be many shots tonight because he slowed down and I like to slow it down. So we just got to take care of the basketball and get a win.
Appreciate the time. Good luck second half.
Good luck, though.
There is head coach Dwayne Burrows. You know, we've been talking about these pre-production meetings. There may be a day in the near future where we get a halftime access, potentially.
Yeah, we talked about how good radio would sound if we could somehow go to the locker room and have access while Coach Burrows does his halftime or even pregame and let our listeners out there hear exactly what goes on. We're working on audio in the huddle, which you'll see a lot on television. So that's at the top of Todd's chore list next week.
Yes, especially for this 3-game homestand. So we'll test today, and then a week from today, see what happens, and then the wraparound on Monday against Maryland Eastern Shore. And we'll, as I mentioned, see what happens. 28-23, Morgan State leading Coppin State. Start of the second half. Here's Dan Mason.
And BB Farrar comes out with no bandage this time around the nose, and she passes in to Bolsing. And Bolsing, like Todd says, has been the X factor in this game. BB gets it to Spears. Spears back out front to Bolsing. Now Coleman has it on the right wing. Off the 3-point circle. Bolsing to Farrar. Inside. Coleman's going to shoot a 10-footer. Bounces in. So Morgan State gets first blood here. And they lead 30-23.
And I believe it's the largest lead either way today.
Lucas has it on the left-hand side to Beverly. Beverly out front to Smith. She's 6 feet away from the top of the perimeter. Looking left. She goes right, though. Passes to Beverly. Beverly double-teamed immediately. Underneath. Chance puts it up. It's blocked. Goes out of bounds, and the Bears have it. They say it was blocked, but it hit Chance on the way out. So Morgan State will retain possession at 9:05 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, Nisha Williams, pretty significant collision. No whistle in favor of Coppin State, however.
Bolsing to Spears. Back to Bolsing. Now BB Farrar at the top of the key. Goes to the right wing to Coleman. Inside, underneath is Spears. She gets around and tied up. So this time, Coppin State will take possession. Nice defense underneath there.
Spears a little bit frustrated on that catch, knowing that she turned it over.
Here comes Lucas. Lucas, 9 points in the first half. Got to get that scoring going again. Beverly, a 15-footer is no good. Bounces out of bounds. This one will stay with Coppin State.
And again, Tommy right to the boards going for that rebound.
Bolsing was after that rebound, but it hit her knee and went out of bounds. Coppin has it. Beverly out front. She trails it down, and this is going to be an over and back. Backcourt violation it is. That'll be the 15th turnover today for Coppin State. Farrar will
2
inbound
to 12, White, 2 to 12.
on the right sideline.
Come on, let's get in it. Let's get in it.
Center to Bolson. Back to Farrar.
Baseline.
Farrar
Baseline.
slowly looking around for the play. Looks left, can't find it. Gets it right now. Wide open is Coleman. Missed it. Underneath, Williams has it. No good. Second chance.
Where's the
Ball
foul?
goes out of bounds, and you can probably hear Dwayne Burrows saying, "Where is the foul?" A lot of contact underneath again.
Yeah, and Williams, to me, Dan, it looked like she took an extra shuffle on that rebound and follow.
8:02 left in the third. Lucas has it to Smith. Smith at the top, dribbles to the right wing. Now Beverly kicks it back out, and ball's taken away. Another turnover. Going the other way is Williams. He's against Dami. Farrar has it out in three-point land. Now she drives the middle of the paint. No good. Ball bounces off, and Coppin has it. Here comes another. It goes out of bounds. This one will go back to the Bears.
It was intended for Lucas up that far sideline, but she ran out of real estate.
Substitutions, Patricia Albert in the game, Mia Coombs in the game, and Alexis Taylor all checking in for Coppin State. Eagles are down by 7, 30-23, 7:33 left. Horn has it, I think that Coleman has it on the left wing. Crisscrossed it, back out to Bolsing. No good. Battle for the rebound underneath. Farrar, the smallest player on the floor, has it. And we're going to get a traveling violation. And she's back with her hand on her nose again.
Yeah, Williams took a glancing blow going for that rebound. She's still wincing coming the other way.
Williams and Spears are a tough duo to get through under that basket. They take up a lot of real estate under there. And really tough to drive on. Out front, Albert has it. Almost lost it to the Coombs. Coombs looking inside. Got to get it to inside. Got only 11 on the shot clock. Coombs now underneath. Puts it up and in. Nice move by Mia, the sophomore guard from the Bronx. 30-25.
Little two-ball action between Coombs and Albert.
Really
basket.
Nice assist. Farrar points left but goes right. Now it's back to the left again. Bolsing has it. She's alone underneath. Missed a gimme underneath there. She was wide open, too.
Yeah, Morgan's going to get called for an illegal screen.
Fouls on Williams. So third. That will bring Taylor Miller, off the bench. She's going to replace, let's see who she replaces.
And Morgan just took a timeout, which I believe the first called timeout moves to a media timeout in the second half.
Yep. 6:35 left. And it is a battle under there. Morgan State 30, Coppin State 25. We'll keep it right here.
Yeah, because they're only going to use 30 seconds of that proposed full timeout. Both teams this early in the third quarter just standing at their respective benches.
Coppin State will come in with Dami, Mia Coombs, Taylor, and I believe Beverly. Now the Bears break cover. They're back out.
And Coppin just sat down.
I believe there's some confusion.
Yeah, the conversation was going on the Morgan State bench because they're the ones that called the timeout, and the officials just kind of deferred to the table. First called timeout in the third goes to immediate timeout. That's normally what happens. However, we kept it right here, even though we were in the right. And it's a 5-point game, Dan. My question is, how does Coppin State remedy this scoring drop that seems to continue?
Well, it's awful difficult for the Eagles to drive the paint right now. They've got some real bigs underneath there that are really tough for the Bears. It'd be nice if Lucas could get hot. She needs to get hot to get this thing going. Well, we hadn't scored the second half. Underneath, there's Albert spinning. Gets it to Dami, and she puts it in. How about that? And they had one. Dami came from out of nowhere on that and found herself alone and then slapped at the last minute by Miller.
Yeah, that was a nice post-entry slip feed to Dami to cut this to a one-possession margin.
And she got it. 6:19 left. Coppin State down by 2. E.B. Farrar out front, directing traffic. Gets into Bolsing. One dribble on the floor by Coleman, who's almost double teamed. Underneath, Miller goes for it, and there'll be a foul. I believe this one's going to be on Genesis. Yep, Genesis Lucas. And that sends Miller to the line. Taylor Miller, the senior from St. Louis, 75% free throw shooter. She can put her team on top by 3. Her shot. Got it. Taylor Miller.
Take care of the ball.
Looking for shot number 2. In the air. This one's no good. Underneath, the battle for it, and the Bears take it back out again. There's a whistle. Up off the bench is Fontroy. She comes in, and Spears is hit there in the nose, and she goes out.
Yeah, that was an official's stoppage for an injury.
But she's got some blood there that would force her out of the game.
Yeah, she may have gotten a upper lip with that glancing elbow battling for the rebound.
Bolsing has it now, takes it to the right wing to Miller. Miller back out front to Bolsing, giving it to Farrar. She loses the ball, and Lucas picks it up. Now Genesis 10 feet away, and there's another whistle underneath. This will be on Miller. Taylor Miller. Coppin State will inbound the ball. Lucas gets it to Albert. Albert to Crooms. Crooms on the left wing will try to go to the center of the paint again, and she's hit hard. I mean hit hard that time. This will be on Naomi Bolsing. So third. They need her in that game. Ball's inbound to Albert, and another foul. Same thing. This time it's on Bolsing. No. They call it on Bolsing. Well, we're going to straighten that.
They did.
4 fouls on her.
I got my 1 on my 2 backwards.
A little dyslexic there.
Yeah.
Mia goes to the line.
And Coleman reacted to the official and said, I didn't touch anybody. He's looking right at her.
There'll be a substitution right away as Bolsing will sit down. First shot's good by Crooms, and sure enough, Chavis re-enters and Bolsing sits down. Jahia Chavis, the sophomore from Newark, New Jersey. Second shot by Crooms, good. 1-point game tie, 31-30. 5:36 left.
It's amazing what happens when you score the basketball.
Eagles in the zone. 2-3 zone, it looks like. Now Chavis gets it on the left wing to Coleman. Coleman is fouled in there by Dami. Dami got her.
Now, before everybody starts tweeting and Facebook messaging and texting and emailing the school, Coach Bros has a great offense. It's predicated on turning the basketball over by your opponent, scoring an easy basket out of transition. When Coppin did that in the opening quarter, they had a 10-9 lead.
Wow, Farrar just bagged one from three-point land and deep in the left corner. And that's something we haven't seen tonight yet. 34-30. Opens up the lead to 4 now with 5 minutes left. Lucas slowly one-on-one against Coleman. To Crooms on the right wing. Crooms looked up at the basket, and there's a foul inside. Let's see where this goes. Hard to see under there. Foul's on Fontroy. That's her first. And we'll get a timeout. Needing a timeout, Morgan State 34, Coppin State 30. You're listening to the Coppin State Sports Network. Coppin State down by 4. 4:58 left. And Coppin State leads the series here, 41-29. Last year they split home and home games. And at the line, Alexis Taylor. She'll shoot 2. And she can close the gap to 2 points here. One bounce on the floor, the ball's up, no good. She has a very deliberate style of free throw shooting.
Stares down the rim first.
Alexis averages 1 point per game, and she missed that one also. Coleman has it the other way. Coleman to Chavis. Chavis to Farrar. BB's looking right. Yelling center. Gives it to Chavis. Back out front. Now Coleman has it on the left. Here's Farrar. She's going to try another 3. She was falling away from that. She thought she had that one. Didn't go though. Ball was slapped out of bounds by Crooms. And the Bears take it back.
So Dan, we talk about the physical nature of this game. Dommy's wearing a mask. Williams has a bandage over her left eye. In the first half, we saw Bibi Farrar with a nostril packed in with gauze.
And I think you'll see Alexis Taylor with a very bruised face tomorrow because she got it in the first half. She got slapped pretty hard on the right cheek. Here's Chavis now, gets a screen from Williams, puts up a 15-footer, and rims out. Dommy with a rebound. Gets it off to Smith. And make that Lucas. Now Genesis will set the offense. 4:16 left. Down by 4, 34-30. And a foul's inside.
Yeah, it's an illegal screen.
It's on Alexis Taylor. Alexis has had that call against her before. That's the first foul today. Coppin State only has 3 team fouls. Both teams have 3 team fouls. Long shot on the way from the right-hand wing. No good by Coleman. Farrar picks it up. One-on-one against Crooms at the top of the key. She backs off now. And now drifts right. Now she's going to fire away at 3. Good. She looks back at her bench for an exclamation point on that one. That opens the lead to 7 at 37-30 with 3:38.
6-0 Morgan State run.
Here's Lucas on Coleman. She's going to try to drive. Dishes it off to Taylor. Taylor banks. Nice shot, Alexis. About an 18-footer on the right-hand side.
Now, Dan, a big stop here with 3:15 and counting remaining in the third.
3:14 left. Chavis is out front. Again, one-on-one against Crooms. Williams has it. Looks into Spears. Now, she's going to go for it. Ball goes out of bounds. I believe that ball will go back to the Bears. Beverly in the game now, and Graham in the game now, as Albert and Alexis Taylor sit down. Only 3:05 left in the third. Morgan State up by 5. Bears looking to inbound. They get it into Williams. Farrar has it deep outside. Chavis to the left. Now way baseball pass out front. She throws it away. And Genesis is on the run. Drives the basket. Slapped out of bounds by Farrar. Very good defensive play that time. Got to give BB credit on that one.
And we've seen Jen over time cross through the lane. That time she stayed true to her right hand.
Got to give Morgan State credit for defense on that play. 2:53 in the third. Lucas tries to find someone. Finally, she finds Chance. Almost thrown away, but Beverly picks it back up. Beverly now wants to drive, and there we go with that arm bar. This will be against the Bears. This one will go against Chavis. And this puts the bonus situation into effect now. Chance Beverly at the line. She's a 69% free throw shooter. First shot, no good. Missed shots, Todd, could be cashing in at the free throw line here.
Well, we talked to Coach Burrows in the open. He said, make our free throws. Well, that's 3 in a row they've missed.
2:48 in the third. Ball's on the way. This one's good. 37-33. Eagles are down by 4.
Ben, that's Beverly's first point in this game, so hopefully she closes out the third, opens up the fourth in a big way.
Farrar out front with Lucas. Passed off to the left. Williams has it now. She's going to drive the paint up off the glass. No good. And we're going to get a foul. Foul goes on, this one's on Dami, right? And that's a fourth team foul, but nevertheless, she'll go to the line. Williams will go to the line for 2.
It's Dami's third foul.
First shot's good. Williams puts the second one in also. Now Williams has a Band-Aid over her left-hand eye. I don't know if you noticed that one or not.
6 points in this game, first 2 at the line.
Oh, and then Chance Graham was coming down through the left wing, went to the basket with her reverse hand, and she is hammered in there by Williams. And I mean hammered. That's her fourth.
That's huge because now you take a big body out of that lineup that's banging away on the boards.
Graham hits the first.
Maybe opens it up for Beverly and Graham.
Here comes Coleman back in the game, and Williams sets down for the Bears.
If you're just joining us, it's Kira Williams, 5'10 senior out of Durham, North Carolina, out this game.
And she was one of the balanced scorers, too. Second shot by Graham is good. The lead at 4. Pass to Miller. Coleman has it on the left wing. Off the glass, no good. But the Bears will run it down. Farrar has it. Tries to spread her offense a little bit. He holds the ball out front. 10 on the shot clock. They have to make a move here. Genesis Lucas is with her. She drives the paint up off the glass, no good. And they come down to it'll be a tie-up.
Morgan keeps it, just 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Got to shoot. 39-35. 1:57. And like Todd said, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Ball's inbound. A long bomb by Chavis. No good. Underneath. Tried to go for a second chance, and there's a foul. Foul with about 1 second on the shot clock there.
Yeah, Coleman got fouled by Crooms on the way back up.
So Coleman will go to the line for 2. Coleman's a 68% free throw shooter. Averages 9 points a game. First shot on the way. It bounces in. 5-point lead for the Bears. And somehow, Todd, you think that there could be another couple of runs here. This one's far from over, folks. Coleman, the second shot, it's in the air. It's good. 41-35, 1:51. Quickly back the other way. Here's Beverly. She tries to drive, decides not to. Gets it back out to Crooms. Crooms will reset just outside of the 3-point land. Gets it to the left-hand side to Lucas. 17 seconds on the shot clock, and Genesis slowly back out front. She's going to reset. She's one-on-one against Chavis. Drives the paint, puts it up, no good. Kind of an air ball. She didn't quite get there. Farrar quickly the other way. Head fake underneath. Spears has it. Ball bounces out of bounds, and Graham has it. Runs out, and we're going to get a foul. This is going to be on the Bears. It's going to go on Coleman. Now, that's her third. So they have a lot of players in foul trouble as we round out the third quarter. This one will send Chance Graham to the line for 2 now that they're in the bonus. Both teams are in the bonus, by the way, in the third quarter. Of course, in women's basketball, that resets to 0 for the fourth quarter. First shot by Chance is good. Cut back the lead to 5 again.
Yeah, we've seen like these 8-2, 6-2 little mini runs in the game, not really 10 unanswered by either team.
Chance missed the second one, but Dami is right there. Miss almost went in. Bounced out of there on her. And now a 5-point lead with a minute left.
That make would have been huge.
Coleman has it.
10 count turns it over.
All right, another turnover for the Bears. Could not get the ball up the court fast enough. The ball's given back now to Lucas. Gets it inside to Crooms. Here's Crooms on the outside. Make that. Genesis on the left wing. Like to get a good shot off here. Fakes around Coleman, puts up a 10-footer. Bounces high off the rim, no good. Battle underneath. And let's see what we have. This one's going to go against the Bears, I believe. Well, he called it on... Would you call that on 12? Because Bolson's not in the game. I think he meant 21. I think he meant Coleman.
He's calling it on Adami.
Oh, they called it on... My goodness. I am quite surprised. They did call it on Adami. I was looking for a 12. I didn't see a 12 out there. I never thought for a second it would be on Adami.
That's her fourth.
That sends Farrar to the line. First shot, no good. Alexis Taylor back in the game. And she replaces Dami.
Yeah, because when the official made the call, Coppin began to clap as if it was going to go against Morgan State, and then a reversal of fortune, if you will.
Second shot on the way. Farrar hits that. 6-point lead, 51 seconds left. Lucas across the timeline, going to the left wing. They kind of leave her alone there. She drives the paint. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Charging foul. Charging foul on Genesis. That's her second.
So now Dwayne Burrows has been warned by the near side official.
38 seconds. Farrar has it. Wanted to give it to Chase, but passed up that. Still controls the ball out front. Now she gives it to Chavis. Chavis, 16 on the shot clock. 26 seconds left in the third quarter. Still working that left wing. Farrar with a bounce pass behind her back. Gets it deep in the corner to Chavis. Chavis underneath. Shot by Williams is no good. Make that shot by... The shot was put up there by Spears, no good. Then she put it back up and it went in. Second chance for Spears. 44-36, 4 seconds left. Genesis drives the paint, no good. Up off the glass and Taylor finishes the last second shot. So we played 3 quarters. After 3 quarters of play, Morgan State 44, Coppin State 36. You're listening to the Coppin State Sports Network. We head to the fourth quarter. Morgan State 44, Coppin State 36. Todd, what do we have to do to bring this one home?
Get the turnover margin in favor of Coppin State and at least cut down on the rebounding margin, which right now is plus 13 Morgan State. Farrar's got 9 points, 11 rebounds.
She had 7 points in that third quarter alone.
Chance Graham's got 10 points, 7 rebounds.
We start the fourth quarter. And Lucas, the game's leading scorer with 11. She's going to pull up with a 15-footer. No good. Not even really close on that one. Beverly has it the other way. She took that ball away and got it back out to Lucas, and we're going to reset. She gets a fresh shot clock. Lucas is on the left wing, and Coleman is staring her right in the face. Does a head fake. Like to get that shot. Can't do it. Now she's going to pull up with about a 20-footer, and good. 2-point shot for Genesis that time. 44-38. We enter the fourth quarter. Farrar waving her offense left. Another one of those bounce passes behind her back. Gets it off to Miller. Miller underneath. Spears is alone. Now she's quickly teamed up and defended. Ball goes off the rim. No good. The second chance by Coppin State is no good. And like that Morgan State. And Coppin State is on the run. Lucas puts it up off the glass. Missed that. Graham put it back for a second shot. No good. Who's got the ball? The Bears have it. All alone at point. Spears was wide open. And they threw it 3 feet over her head. That turnover doesn't help the Bears at all.
We saw that play late in the late in the first quarter, where Coppin had that breakout going the other way, and Morgan had somebody planted, and they made a field goal out of it with an easy layup.
Mariah Smith back in the game as Kuhn sets down, and Williams is back in the game, replacing Spears. Out front, Mariah has it, gets it off to Beverly. Lucas inside, no good. Underneath is Graham, and she's got it. Lucas was driving the paint down the center, put it up off the glass, but Chance was sitting right off the left side, and she put it right in. 44-40, and we'll get a timeout. Timeout on the floor. Morgan State 44, Coppin State 40. You're listening to the Coppin State Sports Network. Morgan State 44, Coppin State 48-10 left in the game. This one's not over yet, Todd.
Not by a long shot with 44-40, Morgan by 4. I think Coppin's got them right where they want them.
Chance Graham now leading scorer in the game at 12 points. Lucas has 11. And Lexus Spears from Morgan State has 11. There's a discussion going on here at the scorers table.
Yeah, the conversation is the timeouts that have been called by Morgan State. That most recent timeout called was a full, and I believe it may well have been a 30. Now, what is causing me confusion, Dan, you remember the first timeout taken in the third quarter?
Right.
It took a while for it to get extended to a media timeout.
That is quite an extended conversation right there between two officials. Official and the official score.
And now they're going to send everybody back to their benches to sort everything out with the home book, which is the official book. And now they'll bring everybody back because that's been sorted out.
Things like that are really tough for a team that has a lot of momentum going one way. They have to get it broken down like that.
Yeah, they don't want to pause in the action.
We'll restart. Polera. The Chavis now over the timeline. Mia's right there on her. She's working the right wing. Underneath. Pass goes to Coleman. Bounce pass and one bounce on the floor. And she put it off the glass from the right-hand side. About a 6-footer that time. 46-40. 7:51 left. Here's Mariah. She's going to try to drive, and she's fouled. This one's going to be on Coleman. Coleman is slightly protesting again. That's 4 on Coleman now.
Yeah, she's got a very active 8 points.
Mariah's at the line. Smith, first shot, good. Spears checks in. Horn checks in. Coleman comes out. And Bolsing comes out.
That's 15 combined points between Bolsing and Coleman, each with 4 fouls.
The shot on the way, good. Second shot's good by Mia. Leads at 4. And once again, Farrar brings it up over the timeline. She's on the right wing now. She has Chavis deep in the right corner and Horn deep in the left corner. And now she turns the ball over. No, wait a minute. A hook. Oh, my goodness. I thought it was a palm ball, but they're going to call that on Beverly.
I thought for all the world when the basketball bounces up ear high, it's a carry. I could be wrong.
Oh, 4-point lead. The ball slapped against the scorer's table here. Nobody hurt, thank goodness. Farrar will take it inbound. She's on the right side, right in front of the scorer's table. 7:33 gets the ball into Chavis. Chavis with Mia closely guarding. Farrar has it on the right wing. Underneath, Spears has it. A hook shot around, no good, and she's going to get fouled by Alexis Taylor. That's the play that Spears was looking for.
Dan, that draws the ire of every coach in the history of time in basketball. After the shot goes up, then you hear a whistle. Either there was contact on the shot or there wasn't. What are we waiting for?
Spears at only 61% hits the first shot and extends the lead to 5.
It's almost as if there was an anticipation it was going to be an and 1 with the basket going for 2 points.
One dribble on the floor. Second shot is on the way. It bounces. It goes in. But Horn was over the line, I believe. And they take that away. Now the lead is at 5, 47-42. And here comes Genesis. He's calling a play, working to the left wing. Has it out there. She's immediately double-teamed. Now Farrar and Genesis one-on-one against each other like we called in the first minute of the game. Genesis double-teamed again. Mia deep in the left corner. Good. Great three-point shot by Mia. And that one went right through the net. No question about it. Pulls the Eagles within 2. 6:51 left. Hear the fans yelling, defense, defense. Farrar gets it to Williams out front. Whistle. Traveling violation. Turnover is costly for the Bears as Coppin State now has a chance to tie this game. Beverly inbounds to Lucas. Lucas looks over to the Coppin bench to Coach Burrows and gets a play. Now she's out there trying to move the players around to execute that play. She's in the front. She has Smith going to the right corner. Farrar is sticking to her like glue. Ball comes out to Chance Graham in the right corner to Beverly, and underneath she travels.
She was trying to get it backside left to Taylor for a 0-footer and forgot to dribble the basketball.
The defense collapsed on her that time, and she just took too many steps. Here comes Kayla Horn now over the timeline. Junior guard. She's played a good game today. One-on-one against Lucas. Gets a screen from Williams. Goes to the left, underneath. Falls by Spears has it. No good. Gets her own rebound. Gets it way out to the right corner to Horn. And I believe it was 3-second violation. As we said, Tom, we don't see many of those calls. 3-second violation calls.
Well, the foundation had been poured in that lane on that call because Morgan State's been building that house all game long, controlling the window. They really have.
We're building development right now.
Yes.
Genesis has it to Smith. Smith tries to get it in to Chance Graham. She does. Back outside to Taylor. Taylor with Lucas now on the right wing. Drives around Farrar. Puts up a 15-footer. No good. Graham with a rebound. And the ball bounces out of bounds. And unfortunately, the Bears take it back.
Yeah, Chance with great effort going for that loose ball was 1 foot out of bounds.
Great effort is right. 47-45. 5:29 left. I believe this is when the old school days of basketball, they call these things a barn burner. Underneath. Oh, goodness. Coleman lost the ball. The Horn has it. Now out front, Farrar, one-on-one against Beverly. Does a head fake against Taylor now. And hits the floor hard with an air ball. That ball was going nowhere that time. She hit the floor pretty hard as she went down, too.
Yeah, she tried to sell some contact that wasn't there.
It was not there at all, not even close there. Lucas can tie the game. Here's Graham. Graham's going to try to drive on Williams up off the glass. She puts it in. What a great shot. She was coming right, spun around and the defender to lay it in. Tied at 47. 4:48 left in the game. Farrar now. Deep out front to the forecourt on the right side. The horn. Down the middle. Here comes Williams through the paint. Up the glass. No good. And Williams got it. She was standing there. The ball fell in her hands, but she was standing on the sideline. And the Eagles are going to take it back. And they got a chance to go on top here. 4:34 left.
11-3, Compton run to tie the game at 47.
Looking good. Here's Lucas threw the ball away. Slapped away. Farrar picks it up. One-on-one against Lucas. Here's Williams out front. Horn has it deep and off the perimeter. Now she wants to drive. Off the glass, no good. And Lucas has it. And here come the Eagles. Eagles with a 2-2 there. Here's Beverly, puts it up and bounces in. How about that? Timeout on the floor. The score, Morgan State is down by 2 now. Compton 49, Morgan 47. This is the Compton State Sports Network. Morgan State down by 2 now. Compton State's on top, 49-47. And what a drive that was, Todd.
Indeed, 13-3 Compton run to take this lead back at 49-47 on the 8th lead change to go along with 3 ties in this game.
That last basket by Chance Graham. Chance was coming down that lane like a freight train and put it in. Now Farrar will inbound. BB Farrar. With 4:06 left, her team's down by 2. Slight pressure from Beverly. And here come the Eagles. All three, almost the whole entire team is at the timeline. They back down now in their position. Beverly against Farrar. They're going to call that. It looks like this is going to go against Candace Beverly.
That's her 4th. Dan, foul situation now. 3 on Compton in the quarter. Just 1 on Morgan State here in the 4th.
3:52 left. Everybody, Coach Burrow says hands up, and they do. Chavis inside to Coleman. Coleman working the left wing. Now she resets all the way to the right. Golinson. The dive ball's on the floor, and we're going to get a possession arrow going to, this will go to Compton State.
It stays with Morgan with 16 to shoot.
All right. Bears will inbound. They get it underneath, the ball's taken away, and now there's a spill on the floor.
Yeah, Mariah Smith went right in for the basketball and got fouled by Spears. That's a huge call.
That's a great call. We'll take that one. 3:32. The Eagles are in control, clinging to a 2-point lead. Lucas has it on the right wing, inside to Graham. Graham going for the bucket, puts it up off the glass, no good. Going the other way, the Bears pick it up. That would have been a big one for us, Todd.
Yeah, she tried to get her shoulder square to the basket, couldn't get there because of the defensive pressure by the Bears.
They did get it inside to her, though. Farrar has it now. Over to Bolison. Back out front to Coleman. Coleman to Chavis on the right. Ball slapped around and goes out of bounds, and the Bears retain possession.
Oh, you got 10 seconds.
Only 10 seconds on the shot clock. 2:59 is all that's left. Farrar on the right wing. The Bolenson. She's almost tied up. Coleman, 10 feet away, can't hit it. Graham with a rebound. 2:51. And here comes Lucas once again.
Yeah, Dan, what Compton's looking for here up by 2 is a possession, and they just turn it over. So trying to get under 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Coleman has it all the way down. Look at the foul. This one's going to go on Genesis Lucas.
Step to the ball.
Yep, Genesis Lucas picks up the foul. Her third. Now Coleman will shoot the 2. And she could tie the game up. Coleman's a 68% free throw shooter. 5'10" junior guard. Horn gets up off the bench to check in. First shot in the air, good.
Now what you may see Morgan do after this free throw is match up man for man and try to get the steal after a made free throw, and then what Compton would do is drop Mariah Smith back with Genesis Lucas to have that two-man game going to the backcourt to break the press.
We'll see how the strategy plays out. Coleman hits the second, and we are tied at 49. Here comes Lucas. Once again, looking at her bench for the instruction. She bounces to the left wing. One-on-one against BB Farrar. Good head fake by Genesis. 10-foot shot in the air. She's on the floor. No good. And Farrar has it going the other way. The only thing stopping her is Mariah Smith, and Farrar put it right in over the top. 51-49. Genesis over the line with 2 fingers in the air. Calling for play number 2. Trying to move her team in position. Patiently waiting for everybody to get in position. Now she goes to try to center the paint. Up off the glass, no good. They get a charging foul on her. They called her for an offensive foul. That's a tough foul. So fourth. Hope Burrows wanted a blocking foul, but not that time.
And they say it's Genesis Lucas's 5th foul.
I'll tell you, according to our records, that's 4. Well, they say the scoreboard up there says 5. No, I believe that's it.
So Lucas will foul out with 11 points.
51-49. Bears in possession. A minute 50. Farrar, one-on-one against Beverly. Candace checks her. Farrar swings back out again. 18 seconds on the shot clock. She's 6 feet off of the perimeter. Now she penetrates the paint, backs off. Now she drives again underneath. No foul. And Mariah Smith picks it up going the other way. Eagles need to slow this thing down now. Underneath, Domi, up off the glass, no good. Gets her own rebound, sits it out to Chance Graham. She'll tie her front footer good. Chance Graham with both hands extended in the air. A little fist pump there. 51-51, we're tied with a minute 12. Here come the Bears. Chavis plays almost to center circle against Smith. Almost loses the ball. Gets it off to Farrar at the last second. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Farrar puts it off the glass, and she's pretty much hammered on the ball. Farrar took her right hand and smacked it against the baseboard around there.
Chance Graham with her 2nd personal foul.
That'll send BB Farrar to the line. 70% free throw shooter. 55 seconds left, and we are tied at 51. First shot on the way. Good. They always come down to these things, Todd. Horn checks back in the game. Chavis is out for the Bears. Hard-fought game today by both sides. And I mean hard. A lot of contact. Second shot by BB is good. Morgan State by 2. 54 seconds left. Quickly, Smith looking to her bench. Call that play. Now she's got to be the playmaker since Lucas is out. She's wide open underneath. That's not the glass. What a shot. Almost a head fake left. They thought she was going left, and she went right through the center and made it. How about that? 34 seconds left. Tied at 53. Oh, here's a block. Olsen. The ball is blocked out of bounds. And this is going to go back to Coppin State. Looks like it hit a Morgan State player on the way. And Coach Burrows wants timeout. Only 27.7 seconds left. We're tied at 53. We're going to kick it back out. You're listening to the Coppin State Sports Network. We'll be right back.
So the inbound, I believe, is going to happen just to our left. 27.7 to go, deadlocked at 53. Coppin wants to take as much of this clock off and not leave Morgan any chance if they miss.
Well, the official, shoot Ed Davis Jr. back a little bit, thought it was a little bit too close. He goes back to his bench, definitely looking to inbound. What have we here?
Bumped off Mariah Smith along the near sideline.
Now's on Chavis. That's still have possession though, not anywhere near the bonus yet. Coppin's got 5 team fouls, and of course that sends people to the line for 2 shots. But nevertheless, Mariah inbounds, gets it into Mia Crooms. Back out to Smith. Smith with 25 seconds left. You can see her backing off, trying to use as much as she can. Down to 20 seconds. Getting frantic out there. And we get a whistle.
Timeout, Coppin State.
Yep. Coach Burrows is off the bench again. They want to leave it here, Todd. Is this a full or a 30 here?
I believe it's going to be a 30-second timeout taken by Coach Burrows. We'll just keep it right here. And I'm here to tell you, Coach Davis was pleading his case out near the time stripe, and I believe one of our officials warned him and said, "You're way out of the coach's box."
He was almost over the center court line. Okay, there's 16 seconds left. What is your play here, Coach? What if you were sitting in Coach Burrows' seat right now, Todd, what would your play be?
So if the inbounder is going to be Beverly, she's going to go to one of the opposite blocks from us. And also watch Mia Crooms. I'm trying to get a curl to the lane.
Beverly tries to inbound. She gets it into Crooms. Crooms around, drives the basket, and puts it up. No good. Down rebound. Up, no good. She's fouled. Crooms drove the left-hand side of the paint, put it up, couldn't hit it. Dami was right there, went right back up, and she's fouled.
Boasing fouls out, and there was the curl. If you don't get the make, you've got everybody crashing the glass. The only downside is you got to get everybody back defensively if you don't make the follow or get the foul call as Coppin just did.
Horns back in for the Bears, and 2 critical shots for Dami right now. 10.9 seconds left, and we are tied at 53 apiece. 3 bounces on the floor. First shot's good. The crowd loves it.
10th lead change on that make.
Dami can put us in by 2 if she scores here. 1, 2, 3, bounces up. It's good again. And now Morgan State wants timeout right away. Leave it right here. Todd says this is too exciting to go back to the studio.
Yeah, because I have a feeling that with Bolasing on the bench now, having fouled out with 5, you're trying to get it in Farrar's hands. Now the question's going to become with 10.9 to go. Do you take the time because you know Coach Burrows is going to press them? He's going to force them to use 10 seconds coming across that time stretch, or as much of that time as he can. In the meantime, who defends Farrar? Because you mentioned it from the outset. She's got the quickest first step on this team. Compton is over the limit of 5 team fouls in this fourth quarter, so no fouls to give to extend this 10-point night or take as much of it off as you can. Morgan has 14 fouls. They're not in a giving foul situation because the next one that they commit is going to put Compton at the line for 2 with Compton already up by 2. So the thought would be you look long for Farrar over the top to try to break the press. You may want to plant Spears in that lane. She's been very successful with that turnaround game. And then Coleman playing with the 4 fouls. She's got the nice turnaround as well.
And let's look at some foul shot percentages here. Let's see who they send back out. Farrar, of course, is 70% free throw shooter. Spears is 61%. She's back out. Coleman at 68%.
The timeout by Morgan State does advance it to the forecourt.
Horn has it. 10.9 left. She'll inbound from the right-hand side. With Leah Crooms waving her arms in the air. Here comes the ball. It goes to Farrar, just like Todd said. She's one-on-one against Beverly. Bounces around looking for a shot. 5 seconds left. Off the glass, no good. Underneath the Spears, no good. And Grant has it. Chance Grant has that rebound. And Oregon State wins 5-53. What a game. Chance Grant pulled down that last rebound and she hauled it to her own front court. And this is it. What an exciting game. Compton 55, Morgan 53. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back. You're listening to the Compton State Sports Network. And we're back. What a great victory that was. And with Todd Bartley here, I'm Dan Mason, and we have a guest, Chance Graham. You played a heck of a game, young lady.
Thank you.
Heck, 16 points tonight, 11 rebounds. Great game. It's got to be a great win for the team too, right?
Yes.
There are big rebounds in players' careers. How big was the last rebound of this game for you and your teammates?
I think that rebound would have determined if we would have won tonight or not. So our coach said, Chance, you need to go get that rebound. And I got the rebound.
When you wouldn't got that rebound, it looked like you were coming out on roller skates out there.
What does this rivalry mean to you, your teammates, and the city of Baltimore?
I mean, actually, this is like the game of Baltimore. You know, this is our rival game. So it actually means a lot that we won this game, but we still have to go back and play them there. So we just have to keep working in practice to prepare for playing them again.
I got to ask you, Genesis Lucas fouls out with 1:53 to go. What did she tell you guys when she fouled out?
She just told us to stay with it and keep our head.
Obviously, you did that. Everybody in the building knew where Morgan State was going to go. You threw the double team at her in the corner, but you're on that weak side. What's going through your mind when you see her on the catch?
I thought she was just going to catch and shoot it because in practice she's a shooter. So in many games when we watch film, she just catches and shoots. So I thought she was going to shoot the ball and make that shot. I was actually really scared. And he told me to make sure number 33 doesn't get it, and she did it.
Spears was really powerful underneath there.
Yes.
He does get the ball. One last question. At halftime, what was your halftime discussion like?
My halftime discussion, our coach, he kind of went back to this morning to shoot around. He said we were lazy, and it kind of showed first half. So he told us to pick it up or we're going to run in practice.
Well, you certainly did.
You picked it up.
Well, you did a lot of running after that rebound. I've seen a lot of sprints in your time. I mean, that was quick from the baseline to the half-court stripe, wasn't it?
Yes, I was excited.
Definitely hair on fire out of there.
Congratulations,
Thank
Chance.
you.
Great win today by Chance Graham and the Eagles. Now Coach Burrows having a moment as well. We're going to talk to him here in just a second. So there's Chance Graham, double-double, 16 and 11.
Couldn't ask for any better.
Speaking of Genesis Lucas, 11 points for the lead guard. She goes out with just under 2 to go. And how about Mariah Smith ending up with 7 in the fourth quarter and 5 critical down the stretch?
Yeah, it was a great game by Mariah today. And you know what? When Lucas fouled out, Mariah came in and took the offense and really drove the offense.
Dwayne Burrows now joins us. So they say this is the battle for Baltimore.
Yes.
Bandages, gauze, tape, ice.
I knew it was going to be a game like that, and we talked about it yesterday, and we talked about it today, and our pregame warm-up today. It's going to be a tough game. It's Baltimore. It's Coppin against Morgan. It's always a tough game. When I was here in the 80s, it was a fantastic competition, and we knew we were going to get it again today.
How proud are you of your kids getting after it, trailing by 5 at the break to come back and win this thing by 2 late?
They just played hard in the fourth quarter, and one of the things that we talked about at halftime was cutting down on our turnovers, which we finally did in the fourth quarter. And once you cut down on the turnovers and you make shots, it gives you an opportunity to win a basketball game.
Adversity a lot of times reveals character. Your lead guard goes out, fouling out with 1:53 to go, and then you've got a freshman guard out of Owings Mills, Maryland, who ends up having 7 down the stretch for you. How big is that for this team going forward?
That's huge. You know, it's a confidence builder. It's great that we could finish the game out with Jen. Jen played a great game but ended up fouling out. We just showed that we can win with anyone out on the floor. I mean, she's our leader, of course, but she fouled out and everyone else stepped up, which was huge to her.
I know you were visiting behind us a moment ago. Chance Graham said out of the timeout that was taken, you specifically told her, get the rebound on the final possession, and she did.
She likes to be challenged, and I put her up to the challenge, and she knows if she didn't get that rebound, she'd have to hear about it later on this evening. So she went up and she went and got it. I had to take her out for a little bit, her and Candace out a little bit, just to get them going again. And once they saw the other kids going with Patricia Albert and Alexis Taylor, they stepped up real big for us. Once Chance and Candace got an opportunity to get a breather, they came back in and played well.
Before Dan brings in a question as well, you knew where it was going, everybody knew where it was going. BB Farrar's going to get it. Just a little wrinkle to throw the double team at her in the corner. How big was that in that final possession?
We knew they were going to her, and it was actually, we should have switched on it and we didn't, but fortunately we got through the screens because they were setting great screens. We got through the screens and we were able to defend it. So, I mean, kids did a great job of trapping and we got the rebound.
Shooting percentages are up today, Coach. For the game from the field, 36.7%, 40% from three-point land. So with a very low 18% for Morgan State.
Like I said, we make shots. You give yourself an opportunity to win a basketball game. The 15 for 23 from the free throw line. I think we still can do better from the free throw line than that. But we made key free throws down the stretch when we needed. Dami came up and hit 2 huge free throws to put us ahead by 2.
What's next for next week at practice? What do you focus on next week?
After all the traveling and stuff, we're going to take a couple days off. School's about to start. Get them ready for school to go get back in the classroom. And then we get ready for South Carolina State next Saturday, which is going to be another tough basketball game. So we just got to regroup and just start fresh next week.
Amazing game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Appreciate the time as always, Coach.
All right, thanks a lot.
There it is, head coach Dwayne Burrows of the Coppin State Eagles. They win 55-53. Dan and I will be back in 60 seconds to wrap up the postgame show on the Coppin State Sports Network. That courtside here at the PEC, where Coppin State has defeated Morgan State 55-53. Coppin took the first lead of the game at 2-0. We'd then have 10 lead changes, 6 ties, en route to the 55-53 Coppin State victory over Morgan State. A 13-3 run by Coppin to take a 49-47 lead with 4:06, the key run in this game. For Morgan State off their bench, Monroy Shaw, Tom along with Chavis, they didn't tally. It is Horn with 2, Miller with 3, and then for the starters, Williams with 6, Bullising fouls out with 7, and then 3 in double figures. Coleman with 10, Spears with 12, B.B. Farrar with 13, keeping in mind Kara Williams was out of today's game.
Well, when it comes to the player of the game, I believe we have a unanimous vote here today, and that would be Chance Graham.
Yeah, the double-double, huge. He had 16 points, 11 rebounds, and took over in this fourth quarter 6 huge points down the stretch.
So your final score today, Coppin State 55, Morgan State 53. You stay tuned for game number 2 because that will have the men's program. Same 2 teams right back here. For Todd Bartley and our fine production staff, this is Dan Mason. Good afternoon from Baltimore.